Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So, two of the biggest UK fintech platforms, Revolut and Monzo Bank, are looking to enter the much heated and competitive buy now pay later space. Now we know this is massively on the attention of everybody right now, with AFRM announcing their partnership with Amazon and delivering great earnings yesterday. We made a video on that. Go check it out if you haven't watched it. We also did a video about a month or so ago breaking down the buy now pay later space and all the different competitors after Square bought Afterpay, the Australian firm. We know there's Klarna in Europe. We know the traditional banks are looking to get into buy now pay later. Barclays are partnering with Avant. We know Visa are looking to make an entry into the buy now pay later space. So a really hot and competitive environment. And the latest is that in the UK, firms such as Monzo and Revolut are looking to launch their own buy now pay later services. Now, this is to be expected, but what was interesting was how we can see that Monzo are FCA regulated here in the UK. Revolut aren't, but Monzo are FCA regulated. I want to touch upon a key risk factor for all the global buy now pay later companies, and we're going to touch upon this shortly. And this is what has got me concerned entering these stocks. Okay, now let's just finish off reading this article first. So buy now, pay later plans are increasingly popular method of payment. We let the users spread the cost over a period of time. Yes, we know. So we know there's Klarna. We know Afterpay were bought by by Square. We know PayPal are doing their pay in 4 service. We know Apple are looking to do something. I didn't know Apple were partnering with Affirm, but Amazon are partnering with Affirm. So interesting. So now 2 of the UK's hottest fintech companies are trying to get in on the action. Monzo, which offers checking accounts through an app, is soon to announce plans to launch its own version of buy now pay later. Yep. And Revolut working on its own pay later product. Revolut is valued at 33 billion. Monzo is about 1.7 billion. But here's where it gets interesting. So this is on the official UK government website, okay? Buy now, pay later products to be regulated. Interest-free buy now, pay later credit agreements will be regulated by the FCA in order to protect customers. So this is even the interest-free element that we're talking about, okay? So you pay $100 for a product, you want to spread it over 4 equal payments of £25 with no interest payable. That is still going to be regulated by the FCA. So this was published in actually as soon as Feb 21, so very early this year when the action was happening. Let's take a look at some of the details, because this will be a worrying sign for anybody invested in a buy now pay later space. Interest-free buy now pay later agreements will be regulated by the FCA. Government will act swiftly to protect consumers after review finds potential for harm. Lenders will be required to carry out affordability checks on customers and ensure the vulnerable are treated fairly. Buy now, pay later products have rapidly increased popularity. Yes, we know. By announcing plans to legislate to bring interest-free buy now, pay later into regulation, the government is acting swiftly to protect consumers. Yep. Now, let's look at what this chap says. He's the Economic Secretary to the Treasury. Buy now, pay later can be a helpful way to manage your finances, but it's important that consumers are protected as these agreements become more popular. By stepping in and regulating, we're making sure people are treated fairly and only offered agreements they can afford, the same protection you expect with other loans. And I think this is the critical piece. One of the reasons that buy now, pay later has really ramped on is the usability of it. Somebody's buying a piece of clothes, they just click on Affirm Pay or they click on Pay in 4 and it gets processed through. There's no deep credit checks being done and they can just process through in minimal time. If regulation starts to come in, that's going to make it no different to you taking a loan out from the bank or using your credit card. And I think that can limit or that could impede the growth of these buy now, pay later firms. Many consumers do not view interest-free buy now, pay later as a form of credit, so do not apply the same level of scrutiny. Exactly what we're saying here. Okay, so people, even from a consumer side, because you don't think it's a loan, you're just spreading it, you're not really checking your expenses, you're just buying more products. You don't feel like you're building up debt. And that's the scary thing with buy now, pay later, and that's why it's looking to be regulated here in the UK by the FCA. Although average transactions tend to be relatively low, shoppers can take out multiple agreements with different providers, and the review finds it will be relatively easy to accrue around £1,000 of debt that credit reference agencies and mainstream lenders cannot see. This is my point here. Okay, so the mainstream lenders cannot see that you've got this £1,000 pound of debt. And so when you go to take out some traditional debt, it's not getting factored in, and therefore you're missing payments. Maybe your buy now, pay later may lead you to defaulting on your car loan or your mortgage loan or something else, because you've been given a loan which you couldn't afford, but they couldn't see that you had buy now, pay later debt or arrears still due. And this is the concern here. With several buy now, pay later providers planning to expand to higher value retailers or offer their products in store, the risk that consumers could take on unaffordable levels of debt is increasing. Absolutely. We know AFRM, one of their biggest partnerships are with Peloton. Now, a Peloton bike, it can range from $1,500 to $3,000. So you can really accrue up some massive amounts of debts on this platform. We know AFRM have partnered with Amazon as well, then Walmart. You can get some high average order value products on Amazon, and you can really start building up that debt, which is a problem. The government's decision to bring buy now, pay later in regulation will mitigate these risks. Under these plans, providers will be subject to FCA rules, so we'll need to undertake affordability checks before lending. And that's the key bit here. That's what's going to slow down these firms from proliferating and driving their what they call gross merchandise volume, the amount being bought through their buy now, pay later apps. Now, if we just check at the bottom of this article, which was interesting, it said, unlike some of the other providers of buy now, pay later, Monzo is already regulated with the FCA and wouldn't want to do anything to risk their reputation with the regulator. The FCA has already taken significant steps towards bringing buy now, pay later into the fold with the review they unveiled earlier this year, and they are certain to increase controls if only due to the growing popularity. Okay, now here you can see the buy now, pay later market is worth 2.7 billion, with 5 million Brits using products since the start of the coronavirus. More than 1 in 10 customers of a major bank using buy now, pay later services were already in arrears. And that's the bit I was looking for. 1 in 10 customers of a major bank who's using buy now, pay later are already in arrears. They miss payments and therefore they're hitting the interest payments. And this is not good for society, is it? I mean, as investors, we've got to be a bit conscious as well. Yes, these platforms may be skyrocketing because more and more people are using them, but how sustainable are they? Are they going to be here in 10, 15 years' time like Apple and Amazon were? And my measure of that is, are they doing good to society? And I don't think this is a great thing. This is what's been holding me back. I don't think this is a great thing to be introducing to society to help them buy things they can't afford, right? There's already various elements where people can find loans, but for somebody to easily go and buy clothes or some chocolate bars, we might soon be, and put it on buy now, pay later, that's a real problem. And I think that stat backs up my hunch, which is 1 in 10 customers of a major bank are already in arrears. So there you go, guys. That is the hidden risk in this buy now, pay later space. I know a lot of YouTubers are really pumping some of these products right now and really getting behind AFRM due to their amazing earnings or their partnership with Amazon. I think that's great. But the fact of the matter is, it will be regulated. They're only going to get away with this for so long because at the end of the day, they're lending, and therefore they're no different to a bank, and they should have to do the same affordability checks and have the same regulations with the FCA as other platforms do. And I think this same process will be happening in the States. It won't be long before the SEC are doing the same thing that the FCA are doing in the States, and therefore that would affect companies such as AFRM, PayPal, Square, and the rest of them. So there you go, guys, an update. And I just wanted to bring this hidden risk to you guys. If you're interested in the buy now, pay later space, you've really got to take this cautiously and do your due diligence before just aping into any old stock. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.